Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It's Theresa here with an art journal / traveler's notebook layout to share with you. So I've been working the last couple of weeks with this handmade notebook that I created using AB Studio Somewhere Over the Rainbow collection. And then today I'm also working with Felicity Jane Millie kit. This is a very much Valentine's Day themed collection from February of this year of 2021. And if there's anything that Felicity Jane does well, it's Christmas and Valentine's Day. So I was really excited to dive into this kit and create with it. And I'm going to play a little bit today. I'm just going through first off and selecting a pattern paper that I want to work with. And so I decided to incorporate this little watercolor floral. And at this point, I believe that I'm going to work with the reds and pinks that are in the collection. And I had a little bit of a decision. It was kind of challenging to make the decision to cover that green that's on the background on the left-hand side, because it really is a pretty contrast on that layout. But in the end, I decided to cover that, and it ended up being a really good decision, and I'm happy that I made that decision. And so what I'm going to do is cut the 4x8 piece for the left-hand side, and then I also cut, I think it's like a 1.5 inch piece here for the right hand side, and this will leave a little bit of the pink and red background showing, and so I'll tie that all together now with all the elements from the collection. And so check it out how I you know how people put the empty milk jug back? Well, apparently I put the empty adhesive runner back, and so then I had to go get my refill real quick. And so now we can keep going here, and so I'm just going to adhere those two pieces down. I did round the corners here. This notebook has all rounded corners, and then when it's all completed, I'll go back and make all of them uniform. Because some of them I haven't rounded the corners as I've gone along. So anyway, that's just a side note. I love these little tags. The concept of these tags is that they're folded in half and they flip up. And that is great. I'm going to use at least one of them for my journaling. And I thought I was going to use several. I thought I was going to use 3 originally and do like a visual triangle with 3 of those tags. But the layout itself is going to take me, or the product really is going to take me in a little bit of a different direction. And so I decided to play a little bit with the stamp set. And this is a fun part of working with a new collection or a new kit. And I encourage you to do this, to just simply pull all of the product out of the packaging and play with it with zero expectation, 0 requirement. You don't have to, I didn't have to make anything with what I was doing here. This was just to play, and I really loved that XO stamp, and I think that would be a really cool journal card. You could do those X's and O's with different colors. You could do it with the rainbow colors. That would be so much fun. You could color it in. There's a lot of potential, and I didn't end up using the XO stamp, I don't think. But just getting a feel here for what the product could do and what it inspired me, where the direction that it inspired me to take. And so I ended up, look at how cute the little stamp, the little heart is, that you could stamp that little dotted heart directly onto the little tag. That's so cute. And so here's where I'm just sort of playing with the product placement here and what kind of layout I wanted on the page. And so I'm kind of doing this a little bit simultaneously because I'm not just focused on one small detail. I'm focused on how does everything work together. And so I am feeling like this sort of, when I go to design a page, we're working with line. And so basically we're telling our eye, where do we want it to go on the page? And I was sort of working with a triangle. And so the visual triangle, right? And so the tag on the left-hand side is 1 point. The Millie girl, her eyes were a 2nd point at the top right. And then the fold-out tag would be the 3rd point at the bottom right. And that sort of helped me to get a feel for where I wanted the elements to be. And so then I took this little tag for the left-hand side and layered it onto another journal card. And watch what happened there. I pulled that green back in, and I realized later that this was, so color theory is so fascinating to me because a lot of it happens at a subconscious level. And I believe that I covered the green that was originally underneath that pattern paper. I covered it because it wasn't exactly the same shade of green that was in the kit. But then I brought the green back in as the color green that worked with more of the elements in the page, and it brought this kit to life on the page that I'm working on. And so that's kind of a cool thing. And I really loved how that layered journal card came together. I just stamped a little bit at the bottom and added the ticket and the word strip and a couple of little puffy hearts for the perfect little layering piece there on the left-hand side. And then I went back to the right-hand side again. I know I sort of jump back and forth, especially when I'm not really sure. And I wasn't really sure when I sat down to create this layout. I didn't have anything in my mind of what I wanted to create. I just allowed this to develop. And so that's why it goes back and forth a little bit. I know that a lot of people think that we sit down to create and we have exactly in our heads what we're going to do. And I did not have that here. I just sat down and let the product and let the process take me. And I want to encourage you to do the same. Use the concept of line to help you develop a good design on your page. And then just follow sort of where you feel like you want to put things. Some of that comes intuitively. So continuing to build up. And so originally I spoke about using the Millie girl and having her eyes and her face as the top point of the triangle. But I decided instead to use the little scallop as a go-between on the right-hand side. And that directs your eye up. And what your eye then has other things to take in as you travel up this page. And so what you get to take in are the little hearts that I stamped, the little puffy hearts, and also the little string lights. And notice how I created a bit of depth here with I used the bigger string lights lower and the smaller ones are higher. So there's a feeling of getting smaller there, of lights that are sort of following a path here. And that's sort of the feeling that I wanted to bring into this layout, is this feeling of being on a path, lighting that path. And then I, of course, wrote a bit of journaling inside my tag here. And so you'll be able to see that on the blog post. Make sure that you check that out. I always do a blog post with my process videos, and that is on my website at theresamoxley.com. And of course, there will be links below. There will also be product links below and product links on the blog, along with tons more inspiration. You guys, I would love for you to check out the other process videos from this notebook. I've been having so much fun creating in this little notebook. It has just brought me so much joy. And then I decided also to add the title. And sometimes the title comes first, and sometimes for me it just comes last. And I decided to use these puffy red alphabets. They pop against that floral pattern paper. And I just wrote only love. And the concept here, and what I want to share with you today, is the concept of only love here, only love for others, only love for ourselves, only allowing that love into our lives and into our atmosphere. That there's plenty of hate out in the world, but we get to decide that we are loving people, and we get to decide to be with other people who are also loving towards us. And I think that's the gospel. So I hope that you enjoyed this process video. Thank you so much for watching today and for following along. And I appreciate you being here, and hope to see you back again soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye-bye.